Hey family, how you doing?
Yes, folks, it's been a very great week for me. But then, Petra, how was your week?
Well, you just started off and said you had a great week, so I want to. I can't wait to hear your week. Yeah, how was your week, TYB?
Well, the week has been, back and forth, left, right, and center. And, technology-wise, we had to keep things going and improve what we have. And then, to get this, the station running. And, everybody has been great. The hosts, the presenters, all around, spread around the globe. Everybody has been good. So far, so good. Hey, by the way, I got a new phone.
Ooh, okay. I want to hear more.
Oh, yes. I got an XR iPhone. The old one was so
Ooh.
not great, but you know what? Is I've taken it upon myself to get one, and we got a new stuff. We got so many things going, and you know what? It's so exciting when a friend of the station joins us, and the one and only Wanda Banton. He's in the house. Yes, yes. You're muted. Wanda, you're muted. Ah, ah. There you go. We still, Petra, can you hear him?
Hi, Wanda. How are you doing?
Yes, folks, we're trying to get Wanda in the house. He's in the house, but we are trying
We
to
get to see him, but we want to
get
hear
to
him.
see him
You know?
and we want to hear him. We still don't hear Wanda, but all the same, yeah. So, Petra, we are going to have a very special show. But the devil is a liar, though.
Yes,
You believe
everything's
in
gonna
that?
work out. We're gonna sweep it up.
Everything is going to work out. Everything is going to work out. What?
Yeah.
We still can't hear you, Wanda.
Maybe there's something you have to press on um on your computer or phone or something. Can
We
you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? You still muted. hmm Maybe may have to go out and come back.
Or maybe if you have a different device, or maybe something on the device, the volume has to turn up. But we're really happy to have you. But we know all our fans, your fans worldwide want to hear you. I definitely want to shout out to our listeners worldwide. I want to shout out to Ron Malinga, him, CJ, Johnny, and OT. They were on the show a few weeks ago. So I know that Ron is actually listening in as well. So, oh, I see. You're on a ship.
Oh, gummy. That's why. We,
I
we,
hear that.
we see it, but we can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Folks.
Maybe if you take it off mute now, Wonder.
What, maybe you may have to take the
Take it off
mute
mute.
off. Yes, folks. We can see Wanda on a ship, but we cannot hear him. But we are trying as much as possible to get him back on track. But everything seems fine here. But yeah, Petra, was Wanda? We're trying to get Wanda on the free of things. Now he's frozen. He's in the warm weather, but he's still
I
frozen.
know, living a life.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Everything seems great here, but we're trying to get Wanda. Um, seems we having some technical difficulties from where he is, but all the same, how was your week?
Yeah, my week was fantastic. You know what I mean? I wasn't happy with the weather. The weather was super gray in Toronto. But today's a super shiny, happy, sunny day, so I'm really happy. You know what I mean? I don't know if I mentioned it last week. I got a chance to attend Canadian Music Week last week Friday, so that was really fantastic. You know what I mean? I got to meet some amazing people. So many industry people were there, agents, promoters, up and coming musicians. I know that Styles P and Jada Kiss and the Locks Chiglush were in the house in Toronto. So I had some friends that attended the concert. I should have been there, but I was getting my beauty rest. But yeah, man, it's been a fantastic week. So much amazing things to come. So yeah, really, really happy. Had a really good week.
Yes.
Very productive.
Yes, I know. Yeah, you can hear. Yeah, you can hear us. We cannot hear Wanda. From where he is, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Beautiful
Yeah.
sight.
I know
Which
we're
he's
gonna be able.
trying.
I know we're gonna be able to get connected to Wanda, and I'm really excited for us to talk to him because he is an amazing artist. He's doing some amazing things worldwide at the moment with his music. His number one song "Nawala" has hit over 100 million streams on Spotify, and he's one
Wow.
of the only artists to get to that point on Spotify for Afrobeat. So he's definitely making some big moves and some big waves in the music industry. So when we do get a chance to finally connect to him and his audio is working, we could definitely delve into that and we can talk to him about that and his impact in music.
Yes, yes. There is something that I'm going to give him a standing ovation. This is the first time I'm going to be doing that. The standing ovation, I'll tell you, Petra. When I got the track called Jehovah, I was depressed.
Wow.
I was in a different state. And when I listened to that track, it took me somewhere. It calmed me.
Wow.
The melody, the music. So anytime that I listen to Call Jehovah, it takes everything out of me and put me where I'm supposed to be. So I'm going to ask him how he came up with that. And, the last time around, he was supposed to be here. And it didn't pan out because there was some miscommunication in left, right, and center. But yeah, we have him today. But today he's on a ship. And I'm going to ask him where he is right now. But yes, I'm going to give him a standing up. Because that track called Jehovah, anytime I hear it or I listen to it, it gives me it gives me hope to live. Yes, it was well done, well written, and I can't have anything other than that. But like you're saying, he's doing great.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud and happy for him because 2 years ago when he came around, it was Noah Hala. And, Noah Hala was raiding left, right, and center. And today, he's come back to back with these kind of tracks, this amazing work that he's doing. Well, we are going to be listening to him. He's working on his the audio. We could see him. Oh, boy. I wish I was there. Just like how Ron is saying, says, I wish I was on the ship.
Us too, Ron. Most definitely, we're on that ship too. And I know that last time he was traveling as well, so I know that he's obviously traveling a lot with his music, and he's got so many things going on. So it's really an honor and a pleasure to have him on the show. So we know that when his audio is fixed, he'll be back on. But yeah, most definitely, he's doing some amazing things. So it's going to be a really great interview, and yeah, super excited.
Yes. I know he's ready for it because there's a lot to talk about. The last time he was here was about a year or two ago, I believe. I think it was 2 years ago when we had that most interesting conversation, and we hope to have another one. And I know maybe he's working from cabin to cabin, trying to locate the the handlers as to how we can get this thing going. Yes, there's a lot of activities going on where our industry is concerned. A lot more festivals, both here and around the globe. Does any one of them come to mind that you may wish to talk about it?
Well, I know that Luminato is going to be happening in the city. It actually started today. So do you know much about Luminato, TYB?
Please, yes, I do, but mostly, maybe somebody out there would like to. Please go ahead.
Most definitely. So Luminato is like the festival of lights. So I do actually have a friend that's going to be a DJ at the event that's happening this weekend. But yeah, it's due the Festival of Lights. It's happening from June 7th to June 18th. And it's an amazing festival that happens every single year, you know. So if you're in Toronto, you get to experience all the different arts and culture in the city. They have lots of live musicians, live bands, DJs playing, and they just tend to experience all different forms of eccentric music and styles, and bringing all different styles and sounds together, you know. So yeah, it's sponsored by TD. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing event. So if you're in Toronto, or you're going to be coming to Toronto, make sure you head down to the Luminato Festival and definitely check it out. You know.
Yeah, and I know Afrofest 2023 is also in the cards. Afrofest starts Friday, July the 7th, and it runs through until July the 9th. There's going to be an amazing array of performance this year. And as we go, I'll be looking at some of the artists who will be performing. So I hope next year, Petra, I hope next year we get Oti, see Johnny.
Most definitely.
To come down.
And Ron, most definitely. We're going to have them perform at
yes.
Afrofest next year for sure.
Yes. And for those of you,
early morning live.
That's right. And for those of you who haven't, who do not know about Afrofest, it's one of the largest, or if not the largest, African music festival in North America. Well, it started over 35 years ago. And I'm proud to say that I was one of the first artists to have performed there. And I quite remember, opening for the late Hugh Masekela. It was amazing. It was really, really amazing having to talk to a legend, in the green room. And he appreciated the music. But then he had recorded with some Ghanaian group called Hejole Sounds. He took them out of Ghana, and then they came out with some amazing, amazing tracks. One being Hejole Repete, which is a worldwide, well-known track. So you know what? Afrofest is coming up July the 7th. July the, what did I say? It runs from Friday, July the 5th until the 7th. And last year, I had a pleasure also performing there. It was amazing. And hopefully this year is going to be more than the numbers that they had last year. Because last year was the first time they had it post-pandemic. And a lot of people wanted to get out. So many people came out. And so this year, they are expecting a lot more people. And at the main stage, this stage will feature performances by established artists. Examples include Mafik Zolo from South Africa, Ali Kiba from Tanzania, King Orchestra from DR Congo, Salati from Cameroon, Slim Frex from Ghana, Esco Levi from Jamaica, Donne Roberts from Madagascar, Dolo the Gifted from Angola, Amane El Fated from South Sudan, and Temi, yes, our own Temi will be also performing on the live stage. They have so many different stages, and at the Baobab stage, the highly energetic and engaging stage is going to be the home of emerging artists and talent. It has shorter performances that focuses on more interaction between the MCs and the audience. So basically, that's what people should be looking out for. And back in the day, we used to have close to over 500,000. Yes, you heard me right. 500,000 people coming to watch this festival. And it used to be a whole week of that. But this year, it's going to be fun and fun and fun. Petra.
But you forgot something, TYB. Mm-hmm. I know that somebody from the Love Bay family actually performed there last year, didn't they? Yeah, I'm sure our listeners would love to hear about that, eh?
That's right. Yeah, you're sincerely. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to have my band was supposed to have bagged a Cameroonian artist, great artist, and she could not make it. She made it after the fact because of visa restrictions and all those kind of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was approached to perform in her stead. So we did it, and I enjoyed myself. And I said to myself, I don't think I've lost
You
it.
did amazing. You did amazing. I got to see the performance, and you did a fantastic job, TYB.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Represent for the Love Bay family, Afro Fest.
What about the Jet Fest is also coming up in Toronto? Any idea about how it's going to be this year? Because this year I know Johnny Gill is going to be performing too.
Okay.
This year. So you know what? No matter where you are, Toronto is going to be the place. And then where it comes to reggae, any other reggae festivals around?
Yes, there's an event I will be performing at actually on July 16th at the
Woohoo!
JCA. Woo! So that event is called Beauty in the Making. It's going to be a hair fashion show, showcasing like all the different talents and styles from lots of different hairstylists throughout the city. So if you want to know what the next best, greatest in look for fashion for hair is going to be, make sure you head down to Beauty in the Making at the JCA Sunday, July 16th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. I will be performing as well as many other amazing artists. Fearless Crown Clothing. So you guys are in my clothing line. Fearless Crown, Fearless Crown will be on the runway. Has some amazing models as well, showcasing the clothing. And yeah, definitely come out. It's going to be a really great day. Going to be a really great day. So that's going to be happening. And I want to shout out Empress J. She's the promoter, also amazing hairstylist as well. So she's putting on an amazing platform for all of these hairstylists because there's always so many events for musicians, so many platforms for artists, DJs. But what about those that are hairstylists, like where are their platforms, I remember pre-pandemic, there were a few hair shows going on, but since the pandemic, I haven't really heard of too many going on. So this is a really great platform. So if you're an up-and-coming hairstylist or you're an established hairstylist, definitely come down to the event, July 16th, the JCA Beauty in the Making. If you go to my Instagram at Petra's Music, you can find the flyer. I'll be posting it today, and it's also on my social media as well. And if you also search Beauty in the Making, you can get tickets on Eventbrite. Tickets are only $30, and it's gonna be a really good show. Nothing that you guys have ever seen before, So definitely come out and support. Summertime.
Any other artists performing at the place where you'll be performing?
Yes, there's an amazing artist called Morales. So he's crowned the Soca King. So he's an amazing soca artist. He recently performed at a huge soca event in the city last week as well. Also, another artist called Colt Sieta. He's an amazing rapper. So much amazing talent. And that's the thing in Toronto. Toronto has so much talent. And, our industry still, I feel like our industry in Toronto is yet to handle the amount of talent that's in this city. There's so much talent in Toronto, So the fact that we have different platforms that can showcase them, it's definitely amazing for you to come out and support them and to see them do their thing, So
Yeah, and I'm looking at something here, and the Jerk First Festival starts on Thursday, August the 10th, and you know what? I've been there, and this year Johnny Gill
Ooh.
is going to be performing there, and over the years it's gotten better and better and better and better. Those great artists have been coming there. I saw Third World, and I saw Conscience. Conscience was there last year, and some amazing artists out there. So I think it's the open season for festivals in our industry. So
yeah, when I was there, I saw. Don't mean to cut you. When I was there, I saw Genuine. I saw Dexter Daps, and woo, the women, they were going crazy for Dexter. I was like, wow. You know, so I saw some read, and I also saw Freddie McGregor as well. He also performed.
Ooh,
You know, so like, yeah, I
the
will say
the legend. Yeah, the
the
legend.
legend, yes.
Wow.
So the Jerk Fest is definitely an amazing platform for to bring established artists, you know, to Toronto. You know, that people can actually see, and it's lots of good music, good vibes. So yeah, the Jerk Fest is going to be great this year too.
Yes, and there are other festivals around the globe. You know, the Afro Nation festivals, and there are so many things going on around the globe. So we know that post-pandemic, everything is going to be great. And the last time, Petra, the last time that we chatted about the fact that there's going to be a glut of music over the next couple of years. What do you think? Do you think we are going to get some quality kind of work? Because it seems a lot of people wrote a lot of music during the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody is trying to push their music out there, trying
Yeah, yeah,
desperately.
yeah.
When you speak, you know, some artists get to us, and you know, we are shooting a music video, we have finished and stuff like that. So many artists out there. Do you have any win of it with respect to the fact that we expect great music, but what do we have to expect? Because when Conscience was here, remember, during the pandemic, he wrote 70 songs, 70 tracks,
Mm-hmm.
70,
Yeah.
70. And a lot of people have written much more than that. And everybody is trying to push those things out. But at some point in time, we separate the corn from the chaff. And your take on it, please.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we have so much to expect and look forward to when it comes to the music. You know what I mean? A lot of people use that time during the pandemic just to be inspired, you know, because at that time we were locked down, we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't do anything. So it's like I feel like a lot of artists had to really delve deep within themselves to kind of connect with their creativity, you know, and in doing so it allowed them to kind of create some amazing music, some amazing sounds, you know. So with that, I feel like we have so much amazing music to come, you know, in the near future, you know, that I feel like a lot of people can relate to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm really excited for all the music
Yeah,
that's about to come out. Yeah.
yes, I am as well. And you know what? Somebody texted me, and I text the person back. Um, and the person was trying to get us to discuss um, the future of collaboration, because right now it seems that is the trend. That is where a lot of people are going, and I think I'm in favor of that. And one, as soon as I finished, like chatting with this person, I saw that Sarkodie is a rap artist from Ghana. He had he wants to record with Rihanna.
Oh, nice.
He wants to record or collab with Rihanna. But then he wants to, if I'm right, he wants to bring the music. Or Rihanna come up with the music and then they will do the work. And he says Rihanna hasn't responded.
Mm.
And I hope he is not, he shouldn't be um, disappointed. Maybe she's talking to the guys to think about it. Yeah, to think about it. So, what do you think about the future of collaboration in this industry right now?
I think collaboration is definitely an amazing thing right now because there's so much styles and sounds and eclecticity to the music right now. And I love the fact that nowadays that there's so much genre mixing. Like I feel like when you hear a song, it's not just one thing, you know, it's not just Afrobeat, it's not just reggae, it's not just hip hop, you know, it's like now we have Afro fusion, now we have like reggae soul, now we have trap soul. Like we have that mixing of genres that's taking music to a whole nother height and a whole nother level. So now to mix in those different styles of sounds with different artists of different styles and sounds together, it's just taking the music to places that we've never experienced before, you know. I feel like nowadays is very I don't feel like, and this is my personal opinion, I don't feel like there's many songs or artists that sound alike, because I feel like everything and everyone is influenced in their own unique way, you know? And I feel it's going to continue to be like that, because there's so much stuff that we're exposed to nowadays with social media, the internet, like in previous times, you know? This is pre-internet, pre-social media. We were just kind of influenced by our culture and where we were geographically, you know? But now the fact that we have social media and we can connect with others across the seas, or like across the world, is allowing collaborations to manifest that were never thought of before. And again, I know we've mentioned them before, but they're an amazing example. When we talk about Ron and Ramalinga, CD Johnny, and OT, they made an amazing collaboration from across the world. You know, Ron, he's located in
Canada.
Canada, and they're located in Nigeria. You know, and like who knows, if you know what I'm saying, like that connection alone creates something so magnificent, you know? So I love the power of collaboration, you know, and I'm excited to see where this is going to take music in the future.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, we've had artists also who have come and had conversations with us, who are also um, talking to you to collaborate. And Resign, for instance,
Hmm.
and King Solomon, and all the others are the other artists. And so I think, like you said, it right. There's no boundary right now. The floodgate is open. It's open wide, and I would like to, as a matter of fact, Petra, we've been saying this for the longest while, but I think we have to collaborate.
Most definitely. With you, of course. I would love it, TYB.
Yes, you know.
I hit. I hit. Anytime you're ready, I'm ready.
You know, yes, Ron is saying your backgrounds and culture can make a world of difference in what you might have done by yourself.
I
That's,
totally agree.
that is really interesting. Yes, I totally agree with you, Ron. But back to the collaborative kind of structures that is unfolding in the in the world. I think I've seen a cross collaboration between the artists in Africa and the Caribbean getting together. I mean,
Hmm.
it's getting smaller and smaller. We're doing what we can do. But I don't see too much about American mhm, American artists collaborating with either from the Caribbean or from Africa. I'm not saying there's none, there is, but a lot more is happening between Africa and the Caribbean. What do you think is some of the impediments, or what is holding this back?
What's holding back the collaboration?
Yes, please.
Honestly, I think it could be a number of different things. You know, I know that we spoke about this in the past, and when it came to Billboard, you know, that
Yes.
Billboard took out the reggae category and replaced it with Afrobeat. You know what I mean? And that is a little disheartening, because they shouldn't choose one genre over another. You know,
Yes.
both there should be a place for both genres. You know, and I feel there is this very subtle way of trying to pit one against another. It's like they're trying to say in the industry that there's no place for either genres. It's like the people have to choose, you know. And I know that in the reggae industry, you know, a few of the artists have spoken about that publicly. You know, I remember watching an interview. I'm trying to remember. I think it was with Bounty Killer. He was talking about the influence of Afrobeat music, you know, and its impact on reggae, you know. And I just kind of feel like, I don't want to say this is so, but I feel like the artists, or like I feel like they're trying to make the people choose, you know, choose between one or the other, when there should be an opportunity to embrace both, you know. And I think that is also related across to the artist. I also think is cultural also, because although those in the Caribbean, we are part of the diaspora, you know, the sixth region. I think also like not being able to speak certain languages from the motherland also is a factor in relation to what prohibits, you know, or not really prohibits, but makes it difficult to also collab as well, you know, and also with patois too. So I think also culturally that might also be a factor. But I think as we continue to grow together and make collaborations, you know, and connect more musically, I think that gap will get smaller. Because speaking about our guest of today, and we know that he's gonna come back on. I know that Wonder Banton did a song with Cranium, and Cranium is a well-known dancer artist from Jamaica, you know. So I know that there are Afrobeat artists making songs with reggae artists. Same with Wizkid and Popcorn. You know what I mean? So the collaborations are there. It's just there needs to be more to kind of support the infrastructure of where the music is going, you know, the future of the music, you know. So your thoughts on that would be appreciated.
Yes, you're right. If you look at where we are right now in terms of Amapiano music and Afrobeats, now there's a collab in Afrobeats and Amapiano music. Yeah, it is going. It is catching up.
Nice,
right?
Nice.
It is catching up. And looking at it from where I sit, I still think there's the reason why, like you said, it's maybe cultural or something like that. But when it comes to the American artists, I think if it takes off, it's going to be very interesting indeed. Because for R&B, Afrobeat, it's like Temi has a track, amazing track. It's a fusion, Afrobeat and R&B.
Yeah.
But he did it, and he did it as a solo artist. So I would like to see more R&B, Afrobeats, R&B, Madagascar music, R&B, reggae, R&B. Well, it's there, sadly, R&B and bongo music from East Africa, R&B and hip life, R&B, and there's so many genres of music out there. So you know what? It is very interesting. The future looks good, though. I think, with respect to say Love Bay, for instance, what we do is to mix the music up. Because the fact of the matter is that I cannot sit down and listen to Afrobeat the whole day. Even if you're an ardent fan of Afrobeats, right? You can. Sometimes you need just the break. So that's why we mix the music up, so that when you come, you know, in your mind, you'll be listening to so many different things. So it's a platform for artists, emerging artists, to say, oh, you know what, if I can do this, I can also branch out and do this. So there's a lot more wiggle room out there for everybody to think about it. We've seen a lot of people, we love this. And Sadio 28 Fly is saying even the collab remix with Tiwa Savage, fire. Yes.
Hi, Sadio. Thanks for
Sadio.
tuning in.
True. So I think I would like to see more of that, where we didn't have that back in the day. But we are in a new era and a new generation where we feel things have got to pan out. Folks, we are in conversation on Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, and this is Highway 6 to Africa. Yes, we had Wonder Banton. He's on a ship, and we are experiencing some audio problems. And we hope you will rejoin us, and then we will continue with the conversation. But in the absence of that, we are speaking and talking and chatting about collaboration and so many things that we feel the industry has got to embrace. Because there's a lot more to be done. Because one thing that makes me happy is due to the fact that a lot more artists are emerging, and they are not going to be beholden to the big boys, because that
Mhm.
era is gradually going away.
Yeah,
So, and I'm
exactly.
so happy because imagine I'm with, say, Arista Records, and you are with, say, Sony, to get us to do our thing to collab would have been lawyers,
Mhm.
magistrates, judges coming into the fray of things to do all these kind of stuff. But today it's
Mhm.
not like that. So I think the future holds, the future is great, great, great. Your take on that, because I think a lot of the listeners are interested in this topic. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we're definitely in a whole different era now. You know, it's funny. 'Cause I actually read a post somewhere that said the future it belongs to independent artists when it comes to music, and I think over the years, uh, artists who are independent have watched the things that established artists and artists who've been signed to record labels have gone through. I mean, I never forget, I actually watched a documentary not too long ago about Prince, you know, and how Prince, he was signed at 17 and he was an amazing musician. He could play so many instruments, you know, so talented. But all of the things he went through in his career was just so saddening. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't do anything without the label, agreeing to this song, that song. Like they pretty much
Yeah,
ruled his entire existence. And
yeah,
there's so many amazing artists like the Whitney Houstons, like all these major artists that we know of. You know, we see them on top of the world musically. Michael Jackson, we see them on top of the world. But at the same time, it's like with us seeing it, how big they were, it's like only after they're gone and you watch their documentary, their life story, do we realize what troubles they really experience. You know that I remember that Prince. I think he wrote on the side of his face "slave." You know, he said he was a slave to the record labels.
yeah.
You know what I
The,
mean?
the big
And
boys.
yeah, exactly. So I think us in this generation, or the ones who've lasted longer in the industry, have looked back and seen what established artists have gone through, and I've been like, hey, you know what? I don't want to go that route. I want to keep my freedom. You know what I mean? I mean, there are certain benefits and positives that come with being signed to a label. You know, I mean, it allows you to get to certain platforms and a certain exposure. But at the same time, it's like very, 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 very few of those artists get to keep their masters. You know, and as an artist, that's your retirement package. You know, that's what's going to
That's
continue to
your
pay
what?
you.
That's your what? Your
Like,
retirement.
yeah,
I
your
like that.
retirement package. You know
I
what I
like
mean?
that.
It's true. It's like when you don't want to perform anymore or you want to leave
Yeah.
something to
Mhm.
your family, it's like that's the only thing you really have, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of artists have to forego their masters
Mhm.
in order to sign to these labels and to have all this type of exposure. You know what I mean? So I feel like artists of today, they realize that, and there's so many artists that have reached great heights by being independent. You know what I mean? So I think it really boils down to what it is you want as an artist. You know, I mean, if you do want to sign to a label, I mean, that's fine, but I feel like you have to also have a contingency plan. You have to also think long term, you know? And another thing is that when you do sign to these labels, a lot of the time they make you sign these 360 deals. So it's kind
Mhm.
of like it's not just the masters. It's like it's so merchandise. It's so many things that they're taking a piece of. So it's like you really have to ask yourself, you know, like what what price are you really paying? You know, I mean, some people are fine with that, you know, because they have other things they have going on. But if music is your everything, you know, is that the price you're willing to pay? And I feel like a lot of artists nowadays, because they are so much more informed due to the fact that we have the internet, social media, we have more knowledge of what we're really getting ourselves into, that I feel like a lot of artists are now choosing to be independent and knowing that they can still book their own shows, you know, have a smaller team, start their own label, you know, and they have more control over their career, you know? And it's like nobody, I feel like when I first got into music, it was vinyls and cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Back then, we never envisioned streaming. So we don't know where the music industry is going to be in the next 10, 20, 30 years from now, you know? And as I see moving forward, I see more artists becoming independent because they have the ability to generate income for themselves. They've been able to establish a platform for themselves that has allowed them to provide an income and a platform that can sustain them to do their music long term without having them to sign to a major label. So I mean, for me, I see that the future is independent. You know, it just depends on how soon is it gonna fully get to that point.
But I think I agree with you 200%. I think we are there right now
Mm.
because these days you hardly hear the big boys, in the fray of things. You hardly hear that. And I applaud the Afrobeats musicians, the artists. They are doing it on their own. Just like you said, you alluded to. Their cell phone alone, that cell
Mm-hmm.
phone there,
Mm-hmm.
you can use it to record, edit, shoot a music video, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And we are not in the era where, like you said, the cassette, the CD. Remember those? What was it? That big? Was it? I forgot
A
the name.
track.
The 8 track that could
Mm-hmm.
fill
Yeah.
a U-Haul bus, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yeah.
moved from there. Now, from the CD, now we have, I can just send you something on the MP3 wave or something like that. So we don't know, like you're saying, it's gotten to a point where we don't know how it's going to be. But then when it comes to being independent, you know what? Most of the back in the day artists were not educated. Educated
Exactly.
in the sense, not education going to the classroom. No, you signed a deal. It was like everybody's, oh yeah, Petra, oh, TYB has signed a deal with this
I
company, this
know.
label, and then you just go there, they give you the money, you spend it, right? They give you the studio time, the studio money to go and do whatever you wanted. But then what was the dividend for you?
Mm-hmm.
No contract signed, just like was it Mr. Watkins when with the drifters when he was here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, a lot of them didn't have a cent, penny to their names, and yet
Mm-hmm.
they were big. They were bigger than life because of the lack of education in terms of signing contracts and doing all these kind of stuff. How you should behave on and off stages, and in your person, the control mechanism wasn't there. You were there, but then all that you have to do is to produce music for us. And if we get another person next year who has come out with a big track, I'm going to sign that person and you sit down until I get back to you. So if you don't hear, say, TYB having released an album and, 2 years, 3 years, you don't hear from it. It's not that TYB is not making music. It's that maybe they found Petra, who has come out with some great track, and everybody is, inching towards that. So what the label can tell you is that just sit down, pack your ass down there, and then you know what, until we get back to you. So not that they were not good, but there was the lack of education in terms of contract signing and all these kind of stuff. But today, being independent is, well, I do my own thing. I know Boomplay, I know
Yeah.
Afro Chats, I know YouTube, I know all these places. I can do it on my own. So that's where
Mm-hmm.
the industry is right now. And like you rightly said, we don't know. He said even 10 years, 2 years from now. So
Exactly.
what's your take on it? And I can see Sadio saying true. Sadio, yeah, you're right. I mean, that is what it is. Because we had an artist here who has his own company. He told us he's been in it. He was with the drifters, big time.
Yeah, Gregory Williams.
Great Greg. Yes, Gregory Williams. Yeah.
And he said that he signed with Barry White, and at the end of that, like he didn't make anything. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
right.
and that was his first deal that he signed, and he learned so much from that first deal that he was more educated moving forward, which allowed him to be more successful with
That's
his
right.
career. And Ron also makes a good point. He said he heard that of $1 million in sales, the artist only makes 70,000 of that. You know what I mean? And that is like a story that has been repeated over and over and over and over again. I mean, even yesterday, I was watching a documentary about a lot of these artists that have big names. I don't want to mention them, but so many artists with big names, and they've lost so much money. You know, they went from millions of dollars down to literally like nothing. You know, or are you hear how much money they have as their net worth, and it's not what you'd expect for an artist of that stature. Because I think back in the day, due to lack of education, like you mentioned, we always equated fame with fortune. You know, the two of them always seem to come together. You get the fame, so automatically you must have the fortune. When necessarily that isn't always the case, you know. And the thing is, a lot of these artists, they have the fame, but the fortune is a whole nother story, you know. And every artist is different, but I think what artists have to also understand is the fact that we are the creatives, you know? So essentially, because we are the creatives, we should be the owners of our creativity. However, a lot of artists don't have the money to push their music or to support their career the way they should or the way they need to. So then it's like they will align themselves with a record label, which is technically a bank. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a business owner and you want to start a business, you don't have the money, you're going to go to the bank and the bank's going to give you a loan. And then you're going to build your business. And if it's successful, you pay off your loan and you continue to move forward. With the music industry now, that essentially should be the case. But a lot of the time then is that a lot of these artists are tied into these contracts to the point where they never end, they never tend to pay back the loan or recoup the costs put out by the record label, which allows them to be tied into this never-ending cycle for years and years and years and years and years. You know what I mean? It's only very few that have had the chance to buy themselves out of their contract or to regain their masters. Like I even heard recently that Russell Wilson bought Ciara's masters and gave them back to her, the singer Ciara, you know? So up until this year, she didn't have control of her masters, and she's been in the industry for over a decade. But it took her husband purchasing her masters to give her back that sense of herself. You know what I mean? And essentially, as the future music continues, I think a lot more artists are realizing how important it is to retain their masters. It's like your masters is a part of your music, and your music is a part of you, which is essentially a part of your soul. You know what I mean? Like, so you need to be able to find a way to retain that as much as possible. You know?
Yeah, you're right. I signed a contract with a label unnamed. It's no longer there. I still don't know where my master is, and we never got to release the track. I mean the album. Remember, we spent so much time, album, 11 tracks and all. But today, you just go 1 track, 2 tracks, and you are out there. So you're right. It feels like Ron is saying something that resonates with me. It's why so many artists must go on tour. This is where the money is, and it's true. And it has been there.
Yeah,
it has been there for a long time, Ron. Because I feel I've done so many tours, and I felt that, back in the day, you sold records or you sold CDs much more than putting them in the stores. Right? And if somebody wanted a CD, like today, where I just go online and boom, I just buy it. Back in the day, you either have to go to a store, order it, all these big 78s or whatever, these huge albums and stuff like that in the mail and stuff like that, right? But today it's different. It's quite different. So I think the industry should look to a favorable future. That's what I think we should. But touring is one of the areas where artists make money. Imagine filling the Madison Square Garden with over 100,000 or 70,000 people. If everybody is paying, say, $20, it's a lot of money for you, production-wise and advertisement and all those kind of stuff. I think artists are better off touring, touring, and it doesn't augur well also for a group of, say, a band, a band, 6, 7, 8 airlines. Ticket prices are so high to such an extent that even one time, let me give you this. We're supposed to perform in Alberta, Edmonton, 3 hours away by air. 8 people, we paid almost $12,000. In Canada, $12,000. Insane. So now, a lot of promoters will prefer solo artists. You come over there, I get you musicians if you want to play music. I mean, if you want a band to support you, yes, I'll do that for you. But then, you know what? It is the way of the future. We cannot argue with that. And Mercy, African, Caribbean, got the best. You're right. Depends on what you name. But hey, Mercy, I agree with you. Petra, your take on what Mercy is saying.
Yes, thank you for tuning in, Mercy. And yeah, most definitely. I mean, Africa Caribbean does have some amazing artists that do perform. You know, we actually spoke about the Jerk Fest. That's an amazing platform that has some amazing artists that do support and perform within that community. And just in general, I feel like music is definitely going to a place whereby it's gonna be a lot easier for a lot of different artists to get the exposure that they need. You know what I mean? And I feel like we're on an amazing trend right now. As we talk about independent artists, and I think as long as we continue to go on this trajectory of educating ourselves musically and having amazing platforms, like Ron mentioned, like Love Bay is an amazing platform. Thank you, Ron.
Oh, Ron,
Really
Ron, my
appreciate that.
cousin. Ron is my cousin, so Ron is giving
Oh,
me.
he's my cousin.
Oh, he's my cousin. He's my cousin.
Okay, no, that makes us family.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I think as long as there's a lot more platforms that are being established that can support independent artists, I feel like this trajectory and trend is going to continue. You know what I mean? Because artists want to continue to be free. I think one thing I forgot to mention previously is that nowadays artists have clued into the fact that you can have a song that has millions of streams on Spotify, but yet you're getting paid 0.0000 cents from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can have millions of streams and making maybe like $20 or $30. That's crazy. So I definitely want to shout out people like Leonard Navarti, who we've had on this show a couple of times. And honestly, I have to send out so much love to Leonard Navarti and Afro charts, especially because my song went to number one.
Number one, yes.
On Afro charts, you know, for reggae. So I'm so blessed and honored for that. And if it wasn't for platforms like that, I wouldn't have that opportunity. You know what I mean? Because I would have to be competing with so many different artists, but and sometimes we have to do with also payola in the industry and people who know people. But I'm so honored that my song went to number one on that chart because the people voted for that song. You know what I mean? That the people like that music, you know? So I think it's just a blessing, you know? Like I'm so, and also he also pays artists 70%, 70% in royalties when your song is streamed on that platform. That's huge. So as long as that platform continues to grow and there's more platforms like that that are supporting the artists. Thank you so much, Sadio. Thank you very much. As long as those kind of platforms continue, it's going to make it so much easier for independent artists to thrive and be successful moving on into the future. And then it's going to make platforms like Spotify become obsolete because it's like you having a business or you creating a product, but yet you're not making anything off that product. It doesn't make any sense, you know? And only the person that facilitates that is who's making the most money. You know, a facilitator should make more money than a creator. So I think we're now cluing into that fact.
Yes. Leonard wants to come every month to give his take on everything. And he
we should bring him back.
Those of you out there, check out afrocharts.com.
Most definitely.
It's a very good, great platform. And the reason also, to those of you who are joining us for the first time, well, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to also, like our Facebook page.
Yes. And
You know,
also check out some of our other shows as well. We have Success is the New Sexy on Wednesdays from 8 till 9. With Bella the Beauty Boss and Jen the Groupie Slayer. We also have the
Suffering
show.
in Silence and Gems
Yes.
of Life. So if you are joining us for the first time, make this radio station be your home of homes, because it was created for us to have a platform for known artists, unknown artists, Grammy Award winners, Juno Award winners, unheralded artists. Anyway, come here and we tell our stories. Because if you have a story and you don't tell the story yourself and you get somebody else to tell the story for you, it becomes his story or her story. So this platform has been created for artists. Come on, come on. Tune in to Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. 24/7, we play French, Caribbean, English, Caribbean, Spanish, Caribbean, African music, left, right, and center, north, south, east, and west. And the station is Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We have talk programs too. So share the station, tell your friend to tell a friend that you've discovered a radio station with a difference that gives you all the best of edutainment, entertainment, history, geography, our culture, our history, our traditions, 24/7. This is what this radio station is all about. And before we go, Petra, take us home.
Most definitely. So I just want to say, like, today has been an amazing show. We had a great conversation. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in, also to the guests that have been listening in and also been really interactive in the show, like Ron. Thank you so much, Ron.
Thank us.
Fabio. Yes. Yes, thank you. The difficult thing for artists in places like in Nigeria, as they have to pay to have their songs played. This is the shame. I totally agree with you, and it's not just in Nigeria. It's all over the world.
Yeah.
It's all over the world. Payola does need to stop, because I think payola has kind of ruined the industry, because it's made it very difficult for artists that don't have the funds, don't have the money to pay to play. That has limited their limited their success. However, but I totally believe that if there's a will, there's a way. And again, like with platforms like Afro Charts, that you can just submit your music to. You don't have to pay to have your music on Afro Charts. You can just submit your music. There's many different. I love it, exactly.
Payola, no payola.
Yeah,
if you bring
exactly.
Payola here, we'll get you arrested. Bring the music. If it's clean, we'll play it.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Thank you for saying that, TYB. But as I said, it's a lot better now than when it used to be. You know what I mean? So most definitely, there's many platforms for artists. It's just you have to maybe fight a little bit harder. But once you have that breakthrough, sky's the limit, and nothing can stop you. You know what I mean? So, and thank you, Sadio. It is unfortunately we couldn't connect with Wonder. If you guys are tuning in earlier on, he was on for a little bit, but he was having technical difficulties. So hopefully next time he's not going to be traveling, and we'll be able to have the connection, and we'll be able to host him on the show. But we definitely had a great one. It's been a really great show, as always, on Highway 6 Africa.
Folks, this is where the rubber meets the road. And this is Highway 6 to Africa. We are here every Saturday with another artist. Big, small, the indifferent, we don't give a damn. The music is good, and this is the platform for artists around the globe. And on behalf of myself, DJ TYB, and Petra, the 2020 Juno Award nominee reggae, and yours sincerely, a Juno Award winner, where we bring you exploits within the industry. We say in 7 days, we'll be right back and get a new artist to have a conversation with. And until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, we care. I love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We care because we share because we care. Until then, take care and bye-bye.
Bye, Love Bay family.